we put on limits on our life, it starts spreading all over. It can be physical, mental, or anything. It spreads over our life, our morality, and to our entire being. So there are no limitations. It's something that we put in by ourselves into our life. Stating this, today's word being transcend, which also means going beyond the limits. So I request all the SICASA speakers to use the theme and word of the day while you guys are speaking. Our quote by author C. Clarke states, the only way to define your limits is by going beyond them. Our color today being blue. Now, without further ado, stating all the theme, quote, word of the day, I would now call this person who is a classical dancer and is into Bharatanatyam since a decade now. She is a multilingual person and easily connects with people. She feels that her passion and profession are two sides of the same coin, and she strives to do the best and give justice for both the fields. Now let us welcome our president for 180th meet, Surabhi Dattatri, onto the stage.
Why I mentioned only female example, female achievers, it's not just because we recently celebrated Women's Day, but also being a matter of fact that if a woman is occupied with 10 different activities and you assign her the 11th one, with the same energy, dedication, she completes that as well. So they do not go, they do not limit themselves, they go beyond the limits. Like how we can go beyond the limits are, firstly we should adjust our mind, train our mind that we are capable of doing anything, achieving anything. And going out of our comfort zone, embracing the most difficult challenges which we can face. You imagine yourself like for the worst of the worst challenge which you can face, so that you'll be prepared for any obstacles or any hurdles which you have to go. So you'll not limit yourself with your, be it with your confidence or your any of your activities. So embrace the challenges, get assistance from your mentor, have a clarity of thoughts what you want to achieve, and imagine yourself that you have accomplished your goal or the dream what you had dreamt, so that it gives a clarity for you when you should, like what step you should take it. So it helps you going beyond the limits. These things will help us a lot. Probably now we feel it very difficult. Like why should I put so much of efforts? Why should I struggle so much? But once we transcend ourselves, we will be proud of ourselves. Looking back, we have done so much. We will have a pat on our back. It's that good that I took a decision and I extended my limits. And one thought of Manya Singh, who won the Miss India in 2020, which inspires me a lot whenever I feel I'm limiting myself. That when she was applying for Miss India, her mother told, "Jitna tumhara chaddar hai, utna hi apna pair phaila." It's not of your cup of tea. That means how much ever your bedspread is, only extend your legs so much. Do not stretch it more. But her perspective of this thought was, अपने पैर को ठंड लगेगी तो चादर अपने आप बढ़ जाएगी. That means when you stretch your leg, automatically your bedspread get extended. So go beyond the limits. Do not limit yourself. And this thought, it really inspires me a lot. And whenever I feel low, should I do this? Should I go beyond my limits? Am I comfortable? And this thought comes to my mind and inspires me to transcend myself with whatever I'm doing. So like dream big, do not limit yourself. If you limit, you cannot achieve great things. If you want to achieve great things, you have to go beyond the limits. Thank you. Now, I call upon our Secretary Rohit, BM, to read away the minutes of 179.
Minutes of 179th meeting held on 6th March 2022. Commencement of meeting. Scheduled time 8 AM. Actual opening time 8 AM. Sergeant at Arms, Rohit PM, welcomed all the members and introduced the theme, quote and word and color of the day. He then explained the guidelines and code conduct of the meeting. Presidential address, Surabhi Dattatri. delivered the presidential address in an enthralling manner. She spoke on the theme Back to the Future, World, Ruminate. She kept audience interactive and asked them to close their eyes for a minute, back to their past and experience it. She concluded by quote Mahatma Gandhi, "The future depends on what we do in present," with the example. Master of ceremony, Adarsh P. Upadhyaya, carried forward the meeting in a reminiscent manner, prepared speech. Sana Lokesh gave her P1, began the speech from her childhood memory of a fancy dress competition, dialogue as a peacock. She told how interested she was in co-curricular activities than academics. In spite of being an average student till 9th standard, managed to get 687 marks out of 625 in SSLC board exam. She talked about CA course. Along with it, she also shared about her bonding with her father. She concluded by stating a quote, "Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift, that is why we call it is present, so enjoy it." Om Kanduri gave his P1. He started from introducing himself and his family. He wanted to become a scientist and ultimately how he joined to CA. He talked about dream. He got secured rank in and received gold medal in CA course. He also shared his experience about social media distraction and how he prepared for CA Inter and cleared in first attempt. Butterfly session. The butterfly session was handled by Noor Afnan in a funny and interactive manner. She gave equal opportunity to newcomers. The general evaluator of the meeting was Akash Ravi. He evaluated each speaker and whole meeting in a genuine manner and suggested the area of improvement. Winner of the meeting, the best prepared speaker, Sana Lokesh, was declared as best prepared speaker. Best individual evaluator, Surabhi Dattatri, was declared as best individual evaluator. Butterfly speaker, Om Kanduri, was declared as the best butterfly speaker. Best role player, Adarsh P. Upadhyaya, was declared as best role player. Best listener, Vigneshwaran, was declared as best listener of the day. Closing remarks by President Surabhi Dattatri. The President expressed her gratitude to all the participants for attending the meet and making it successful. Takeaway. The major takeaway from the meeting was a quote, "The future depends on what we do in present." Meeting adjourned at 10:15 AM. There was a 45 attendance of 179 meet. Regards, SSF team Bengaluru.
So, good morning everybody.
Good morning.
Thank you for the response. My name is Om Kanduri. Today I am the 180th meets Master of Ceremony. So, Beyond the Limits, the theme of today's session. So what is Beyond the Limits? So rather than explaining what Beyond the Limits is, I would share my experience of how I went beyond the limits and cleared my CA in my first attempt. So as Rohit said, in my previous session, I gave my P1 and it said that I was a person who could barely study for 13 minutes in a stretch to 13 hours in a day. That was my transformation. So how did I do that? So as again Surabhi said, I am a movie bluff, so I keep watching a lot of movies and a lot of social media distractions. So with that, I used to think that I can't go more than this, I can't study for more time, I can't wake up early in the morning, I can't stay late in the night. So I used to think all of these things, I have a lot of weaknesses and all that. But one day, my dad said, you got to work on your weaknesses, enhance your strengths, and that is when you can achieve whatever you want to achieve. So that is what I started doing. I started analyzing what my weaknesses were. I started working on them. And for example, one of my weaknesses is I can't concentrate a lot. So for that, my solution was combined studies. So someone along with me would study along and who would make me study as well, who would study himself and make me study. So that way, one by one, I overcame all my weaknesses. I started planning my time. I started making my own time, and then I overcame all my limitations. So as today's word says, transcend, which means go beyond the range. My determination to clear both the groups of CA Inter in my first attempt helped me transcend all my limitations. So that is how I went beyond my limits. So that is the theme of the day as well. And so even in our individual lives, we all have different abilities, we have different capabilities, we have different limitations, we are built different. So it's not like for every product there's a standard rules or standard instructions or standard rules. So, but humans are not that way. Each human is built differently. So everyone has their own capabilities, own limitations and own limits, and you can define them only if you go beyond them. So everyone, I urge you to all go beyond your limits, set your own limits and cross them and exceed and achieve everything that you want to. Now I would like to introduce our GE. He is a person who's been practicing in direct taxation, and he's been the chairman of the Direct Tax Committee of Karnataka State Chartered Accountants Association. And he's not only practicing direct tax at various levels by specializing in tax litigation. He's also been the Toastmaster for 3 years as the president and is still an active member of the Toastmaster committee. And also, he's not just that, and he's a budding lawyer and also a keen observer of the stock market for the last 12 years. So I welcome CA Siddesh Kaddi sir.
Friends, every Sunday I'm posed with 2 options. Either to go with sleep or go to SICASA Speakers Forum. Hands down, I always choose SICASA Speakers Forum whenever there is an invite. It's indeed my pleasure to be part of this class. The introduction which my friend Om had to read was a little old, 6 months old. So I'm no longer chairman of Direct Tax Committee. I'm no longer associated with BCTC. No longer. In fact, it is 12 plus 3, 15 years of experience in the stock market. Anyway, very good morning. Very good morning to all the learned members in the class. My duty as general evaluator is to note down the learnings from this meeting. I'll be very diligent in my duty. I'll be assisted by 3 role takers. To start with, we have timer, Sai Vishnu. May I request Sai Vishnu to describe the role.
If you refuse to spend your time to dream big, then you are a miser. My own quote, don't Google it. Not if you refuse to spend your time to dream big, you are a miser. So always think wiser and don't be a loser. Ma'am, actually you look like a flower, don't show a slipper because I'm not a loafer. I'm your lovely SICASA speaker, Vishnu the timer. Thank you very much. So I'll be noting down the time consumed by each SICASA speaker, and the thresholds for today's meeting are: prepared speakers are given a minimum of 5 minutes and a maximum of 7 minutes, and butterfly speakers are given a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of 2 minutes. I strongly request you to utilize the entire time at your disposal, and all the best, guys. I will be reporting at the end of the meeting. Thanks.
Thank you. Let's welcome Bhargav to the meeting. Aditya, all the learned members. The second role taker we have today is grammarian. Can we have Vishnu Varan? Vignesh Varan on the stage, please.
Okay, good morning everyone who are present here. Myself, as Sir said, myself is R. Vignesh Varan. I am taking up the role of grammarian for today's week. The role of a grammarian is not only to make note of grammatical mistakes that the speakers do, but even to make note of the things, even to make note of the idioms, phrases and the words which are pronounced and used exceptionally very well, and to provide a report of the same at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, R. Vignesh Varan. Yes. The third role taker is pillar word counter. Can we have Akshay Kumar? Akshay Kumar on the stage, please.
Good morning, I'm Akshay. Sir said I'm taking a counter role. The role is very simple. The filler words. The meaning of the filler word is like the filler words are those sounds, words, and gestures that do not add any meaning to the speech, but decreases the effectiveness of the speech, and sometimes if they use exclusively, they may decrease the accountability, authority and credibility of a speaker. And some common filler words are like okay, so yeah, that's it. And moreover, they are not limited to the words. The gestures such as adjusting your watch, your tie, they are also counted as a filler words. Yeah, thank you.
The most important role, listener role, can we have Janvi on the stage, please?
Good morning all, I am Janvi. When you're talking, you're just repeating something that you already know. But if you listen, you may learn something new. Okay, so today, as a listener, my role is to note down a few set of questions based on what has been said during the meeting by any of the participants. And towards the end, I'll return and ask and be testing your listening skills. But you don't have to worry, as you don't have to note down any notes or memorize anything, as the questions will be of generic in nature and nothing too specific. Thank you.
Thank you all the vote takers. Friends, we've got very interesting theme of the day, theme of the meeting, that is to go beyond the limits. There is one thing which I'm doing on a regular basis to go beyond the limits. That is to test my memory. I don't know if you noticed today, I'm not carrying a script, I'm not carrying a note to call out roll takers. This is one such effort, uncomfortable effort which I've exercised on my brain to be able to improve what? To be able to improve memory skills. All my orientation students, they know that I'm bad with names. That's the reason I've put myself into this uncomfortable situation, that in a public domain, to be able to recall their names effortlessly. I've been a little successful, sorry, R. Vigneshwaran. I've been a little unsuccessful, but it is worth the efforts. So today, when you come to the stage, I want all the speakers, all the role takers, to exercise one thing which makes them feel uncomfortable. That is how you can go beyond the limits. All the very best. With this, back to the MC of the day.
Thank you, sir. I'll definitely try to implement it by making myself uncomfortable and going beyond the limits.
Before stepping into the topic, let me start with a quote. The only way to do great things is to love what you do. If you have not found it, then keep looking at it, but don't settle, which was said by Steve Jobs. I am very delighted to describe about myself. I am Mallikarjuna. Let me start from 6th standard. So basically I am a gamer. I love games a lot. Myself want to be number one in the areas which I like most. So I cracked many adventurous games which has beautiful ending. So moving on to my professional life, I maintain a percentage of 90 to 95. Sorry, 90 to 95 percentage from 6th standard itself. I maintain the same consistency. And let's continue with my family. Me, my dad, my mom, and little princess, my sister. And introducing my sister, she started sacrificing from 4th standard itself. Up to 3rd standard, me and my sister completed the education in a private school. But she taken the lead. The things had changed. And she taken the lead and she said to my father, Dad, I want to join in a government school. Because of so she asked her, so my dad also convinced, and now still she is pursuing her education in the government school itself. Unfortunately, later on, we shifted from my town to my village, from town to my village. But I continued education in the same school itself, but as a hostler. I think what might be the situation you already faced, because initially what kind of difficulties you have been faced if you are being a hostler. So I also feel the same difficulties. And our school has a history that no one from the hostler get good marks. And when I'm in 9th standard, a girl who is from hostler got 10 by 10, and she cracked the history. And but no one from the boys got 10 by 10 from our hostlers apart. And I think what might be my situation because of consistency I maintain 90 to 95%. My principal has a lot of hopes on me, and being as a CCE pattern, which question comes from where we don't know. And my principal suggested me, referred me a lot of books. So I blindly followed him. Whatever he said, I just followed it. And thereafter, a trip has been announced, like to Sriharikota, the Space Research Launching Center. So first initially I felt depressed. Oh my God, here also education, that is also educational tour. What is this here? So I think like that. And thereafter when I went there, oh my God, it's really amazing. So I saw on the two launching pads, one is which rotates 360 degrees and one is in a rectangular shape like that, which moves only front and back. And I went to a museum, and where the controls are being regarding the rocket launching, where the controls are being controlling, and I went there. It's like a big cinema hall, and many systems are there, 3 LCD screens with different timings. Wow, it's really amazing, and it's one of my memorable moments. And coming to my preparation, in my 10th standard, whatever the principal had said, just I followed it blindly. And on the final day of my last examination, I am very confident that I can clear it and I can get 10 by 10. I can get 10 by 10. And thereafter, on the date of declaration of the results, yes, whatever I said, I got 10 by 10. Later on, I am very much interested in commerce field. So I went to, in Andhra, there is a famous institute, Masterminds. So I went there to join in a commerce background. But I went for counseling with my dad. A lady called her. A lady called me and my father. So she said, there is a package of combo of 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs and 5 lakhs only for coaching itself. So I seen my father's face and I came outside. I said, Dad, I don't want to join commerce background. So I again went to my town back, and thereafter I joined in a nominal college as a science student. And there my preparation is being going on. I made a deal with my principal of the college. If I got 10 by 10, you don't want to increase my fee structure. Whatever the fee is there in the first year, that fees will be continued even for the second year also. I made a deal. He made me promise for that. And thereafter, I was announced as a Pratibha awardee for getting 10 by 10 in my 10th standard as a lottery by way of lottery system. Fortunately, my name is there, and I went there, and they presented me a Lenovo tablet, and still it is working. And 20,000 rupees of prize money and a book name called Secret. But I never opened the book. It is there in my bag itself. Yes, and coming to the point, later on I finished my first year. I got 10 by 10. In the first year itself, I made the deal. I made the deal which is previously I said no. So he promised me, and the same fee structure is continued in the second year also. I completed the second year. But the second year results were very interesting because the second year co-education is there. JEE Mains preparation because of very much less strength is there. So in second year, JEE Mains preparation is going on, and again the second year, but only 2 months is there for second year's board syllabus because we concentrate mostly on JEE Mains rather than board syllabus. So I attended for JEE Mains for the first time. I got 74%, and later on only 2 months preparation. 2 months is left. So I started preparing. I just taken the previous question papers and I went through, and I got 9.8 in the second year with a total of 954 out of 1000, which is also one of my best achievement. And I went back to my house and preparing for JEE Mains again. And 1 month preparation has been completed. And I'm thinking myself, what initially I want to become and what I am doing now. I want to choose commerce, but what I am doing in science. So I realized myself. I went to my dad. Dad, I want to go beyond the limits. I don't want to restrain in this background. And thereafter, my dad suggested me, yes, it's your wish. You can go, but be careful whatever you are taking the decision. It's up to you. And thereafter, I joined CA Foundation through online. But the online, I learned many things like teamwork, planning, implementation of the plan which is organized, and me and my friend who is also a science student, we are friends from the first year itself. We made he is from Andhra and I am here through phone call because of the Geo. Through phone call from the morning to evening, we keep the efforts, and thereafter I cleared my CA foundation in the first attempt, I got 228, he got 227. What might be the difference? I don't know. We prepared like that. 228 and 227. And coming to CA intermediate, same online coaching. And thereafter, me and my friend, same. First group has been cleared. I got 213. He got 212. And group 2 158, me, and he got 156. I don't know what might be the difference. We prepared like that. And thereafter, finally, I want to conclude, guys. My goal is to become a chartered accountant, and my dream is to see my parents' face which is smiley, and they want to laugh wholeheartedly. And from that night, they want to sleep without having any thoughts, and having only one thought, that my son is there, he take care of everything. And having one more responsibility is there, because my sister sacrificed from 4th standard itself. Oh my God, it's been really wonderful because that kind of very young, smaller age, she understand that my brother want to come across what he is facing. And thereafter, I remember daily this thought. Even after completion of QC, I want to join my sister in a well-reputed university with my own heart and money. And finally, I can conclude with one quote, guys. You will never find time for anything. If you want, you must make it. Which was stated by Charles Buxton. Thank you, guys.
Good morning, teacher. I hope you people remember this tone. Whenever we listen to this kind of a tone or voice, we go back to our school days or childhood days. Today I am here to take you back to my school days and walk you through my story, which was pretty exhilarating and as well as monotonous. For those who don't know, my name is Chandana, and I believe that this particular experience will make me a better person tomorrow because I am standing here. Likewise, I would like to start from my childhood, where I was a kind of dumb and throwaway kid in my school times. Everyone had thought I was dumb. Up till then, I had a conversation with them. As a matter of fact, everyone would have experienced that naughtiness in our childhood days. That proud moment when teacher says, our class is the worst that they had ever seen. And that moment when they say, those who want to talk can get out of the class. And you look at your best friend and say, Chale kya bahar? And I got enrolled to my higher secondary school, where I learned being naughty and made lot of friends and had lot of fun. Everyone would be astonished when I say that we had only 4 girls out of 54 strength. I hope people can guess why was our class so naughty. I would like to narrate one incident where that was an incident that was an incident where we all had bunked a class. We got punishment for that. Can you guess? We sitting on the outdoor stage on outdoor auditorium, wherein all the passerby students and teachers see them and laugh at us. That's what exactly we got as a punishment. No doubt, I cried and refused to sit there, but gradually when we sat there, no one presumed it to be so fun and interesting. And eventually, the punishment day turned out to be a fun day for us. The strange thing, the whole scenario was, the person who gave us the punishment was indeed laughing at our mischievous. After our school days, everyone would thought that our school days, it will be delightful and thrilling. But after stepping out of the school, we'll know its significance. In fact, I was the science club secretary in my school days. It was just for namesake. And don't ask me all those theories and all. I don't even remember a single one. It was the best reason for me to bunk classes and wander around the school for no reason. And landed up in commerce stream in PE. Coming to my academic achievements. I'm a person who would rather climb a mountain but not ready to study, and nevertheless tomorrow is my exam. So I don't have academic achievements so far. The only achievement so far I have is being financially independent for the past 3 to 4 years. While I was working as an admin in Abstract ERP Solutions for 1.5 years, an internship in Copeland Associates, and many more.
So now I decided I'll not speak anything about girlfriend from here on. So what is butterfly session is all about? It is a session where individual comes here, they get a topic. For example, prepared speech. Prepared speech means they'll already given a topic or they will know what to speak. Butterfly session is a session where an individual comes, they speak, they get a topic, they get few seconds or few minutes to think. Few seconds they should think, and in the couple of minutes, between 1 minute to 2 minutes, they should come and they should say whatever they feel about the topic. So we'll start the butterfly session now.
And one more thing, don't set time limits for achieving goals, they should transcend time. Now let's start the butterfly session.
Good morning everyone. I am Ankush A. So when I think about Kohinoor Diamond, I would like to say that in my life, Kohinoor Diamond is my mom. Because she has suffered a lot for me. After getting married for 8 years, she lost her husband. Then too she suffered a lot and she went beyond the limits to make us educate very well. So I would like to say that my mom has done a lot for me and my sister.
Also, I got this opportunity to improve myself because I have a good stage fear, guys. This is my third meet, and the second meet I took a butterfly session to improve, to conquer my stage fear. There's nothing to change, it's awesome in everything. Nothing to say, but I'll introduce myself. I'm a direct student, pursuing the first few and I'm going to give my first group and second group in the next May 2023, and I would like to say about my dad. He is my hero, life of the hero. He is an auto driver. He struggles a lot to get educated. We have 4 siblings, 3 daughters and 1 son. Yeah. He struggles a lot to educate all. My sister, she is a HR in a Magpie group of company. My brother, he has own business of supplying his AC and the cameras, who does this business, right? That business. And my younger sister, 1 year younger, she is doing the job of data entry. We started just now, data entry. And I want my dad to be proud of all the children, especially me, because my ladly, everybody says this, me would ladly beti hai, dad ki karke. And after 3 years, I will be the successful qualified chartered accountant. I'm sure he'll be proud of me.
Okay, thank you. Actually, I am forum, part of the forum. I am included already, but as a president, no changes. I would like to make changes. Because what is the changes are needed, that is already recommended to our president. If in case any changes, but in case if I become a president of SICASA, no such idea. Okay, I will give one more. Like that today happened. Already I given my minutes, but not required to give me my again butterfly session. All are lot of newcomers is there. To them, give the opportunity to speak. I will give the more preference for them. And I will try to more people to come to this forum to attend the speak and make it successful. Thank you.
I like the dog because in my grandma's house we had one dog. It's like we don't have to tie that. If my grandparents is going out, it used to go with them and drop them and come back. When the time they come, at least they will come in evening. If they go out of station, it will go for the bus stop and it will pick. The dog will pick. I really don't like cat. I don't like cat because of my brother. In my village, I have one brother, Dodama. Dodama's son. He had one cat. He used to drop on me. used to scratch. I don't want to go. If I go, it will sit next to me. He don't tell anything. He will just increase it and silently take cat on me. He will leave on me. Really, I don't like cat. I like dog because it's the honesty and it will be a very good friendly to a human being. Nowadays people trust human beings rather than dog. I hope you people also experience the same, at least once in a lifetime. Actually, I'm nervous. Even I like to buy a dog, but my younger brother, if you bring dog, if you go out, I will go and leave it somewhere and I will come. I don't like dog, so don't bring me a dog in my house. Right?
Yes, please.
Kacha papad pakka papad, 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 kacha papad pakka papad.
15 hours.
Kacha papad pakka papad, 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 kacha papad pakka papad.
If I would describe my life, an object would be a guitar because it's lying almost 5 years in my home. Not played it still. So how would you think? Initially, when I bought a guitar, it was so beautiful. I used to like, even if my sis touches, if my sister, I used to scold them. And I used to keep it every day, wipe it, keep it, and then so it's like when you were newly born or something like that. Like when you come to I don't get it. It's like when you get into someone's life as an object. To you, they treat you like a way better than any. Like you would be the special, how to say. You would be a very near dear to them and all. And then later on, as time passes, your value to your value towards that object keeps reducing, and it ends up scrap. That's what I would say. That's my life.
Doraemon in my life is my father only. He has been a backbone of my life for 19 years. Yes. I'm 19. And if it is a bigger thing or a smaller thing, he'll be always like, I'll be there, I'm coming, I will. Today morning also, he was completing his night duty, and he is a police, and he is completing his night duty, and he was coming to home, and he took permission from them, and he took half an hour permission from them, and came here, and I was like, I already left the home and I was in bus and I was coming here, and I came to Anandav Circle nearby only, and it's just near here. It's like 5 minutes walk from there to here. So he was like, don't go, I am coming, I am there. And he was like, when I was walking there, suddenly he gave me entry, and he took from there he took me to here. And for every small thing, he'll be like, I'll be there. So this is about him, and I love my father much more. What it's like beyond anything. Thank you.
First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Aishwarya. I was from foundation route, but maths pushed me to take direct entry route. I hope you all get that. So, what is the importance of time according to you? Time. Yeah, time is money. Yes, of course, to a professionalist, time is money. Even 1 minute is equals to 1 lakh for them. Let me take a time management. If we want to come from the house, we have to manage like at what time we left there and what time we will reach here. This is called time management. We have to fix a time like in which year we will be a CA. Like if we start in 2022, obviously since we are from direct entry, we can't write in coming November. We have to take 2023. So around 2026 we will be a chartered accountant. This is called time management. Within that we have to achieve something. And
very nice. So, friends, in the morning I had two options, that is SICASA or sleep. Now again I've been presented with two options. Any guesses? One is to speak on the topic. The second one is to introduce myself. Anyway, so there is a saying, with one bullet you can shoot two birds. So with one topic I'll address both. Any age for 1 week, what age would it be? Very nice. So I've come from a very small place called as Kopla. I don't know how many of you are aware of this place, Kopla, North Karnataka, very close to Hampi. You're from that place?
Yes, sir. My father.
Very nice, very nice. So you know the level of education there, the exposure there, whatnot. So having spent entire life in North Karnataka, be it Kopla or Ballari, residential education, I was suddenly introduced to a place called as Christ College, the most dynamic institution when it comes to commerce education. Yes. So it was like a fish from the pond, what was left open in the ocean. So the first 1 week which I spent in Christ, or rather the 2 years which I spent in Christ, very uncomfortable. Every possible second in Christ was equivalent to a torture, because people are so advanced. Every day you're required to be there on the stage. Every day they get into some sort of activities. And people are dynamic, end of the day. #1 college happens to be in Bangalore. Very uncomfortable. So I was always finding ways to bunk college, go to PVR. The moment your attendance slips below 75, your parents will be summoned. So it so happened in the first week, and then as Indians, we have to find jugaad. The jugaad which I came up with is you can go to library. Even library, they used to grant attendance. So library, I was exposed to a lot of books. I was exposed to a lot of magazines, business magazines. We had no opportunity to log into, back in those days we had Orkut. No Orkut, no Facebook. The moment you log into that, again, the admin comes, takes away your ID card, calls parents, whatnot. So the only option I had is the path of discomfort, the path of success. It was a torture, but if I look back, it was worth it. I am what I am because the time I spent in Christ College. With this, back to you, Parag.
Good morning, everyone. So it seems that I have sold this product. So you know what's written on this? No. Obviously. So it's written Armani. So Armani. So you know Armani is a popular brand. So price of course not 1,000 bro. Armani. I mean, I saw a meme where a belt of Armani cost 35,000. I mean, I was astonished what people pay for a belt. So this watch, I mean, it doesn't go less than a lakh, and this was apparently worn by Miss Sakshi. Yeah. So it held in her beautiful hands, and I think everyone would want to. No, it's not a second-hand watch. Like it still looks no scratches on what to say. So it's water resistant, and if I get a bucket of water, I can put in like that, and you know. See, these coatings almost looks like gold. And there is little things like that looks like diamond. I mean the numbers. Okay, you got to test. I am not. I'll be honest with that. It's not Kohinoor diamond. Of course, it looks like diamond, but it's not Kohinoor diamond. I can't assure you of that. And then yeah, my time is 1:41. So yeah, anyone interested can contact Sakshi. So it's her watch. So she gave me to sell. So I hope anyone interested can go with her. Thank you so much.
From Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. I'm I'm currently pursuing my articles which are going to end by September 2022. Actually, I don't watch movies or web series, and when I go through YouTube once in a while, I come across many web series, many types of web series. In that, most attracted me was Korean series actually. South Korean series will be there now. Though in those series, the girls and guys are very good looking, and love stories, usually love stories will be there. Caring each other, that only I have observed, and while watching, I just enjoy watching, and I don't watch for learning anything. I just watch for entertaining myself. So that's it.
So yes, but I would never do it again. So I want to do it again. I want to continue it. So can you change the topic? What do we do if we go and get cash and go? Business spending. I think no one out there today. Some people will say, "Here, I will do that. I will do this." When you get into reality, no one not like that. What they said right now here. So I feel not be spending and enjoying only. Frankly speaking. Yeah, myself, I'm from Andhra Pradesh, Kadapa district. Right now I'm third year of my articleship in the firm name JBPR.
My topic is all about this. If you could switch lives with anyone currently living for an entire day, who would it be? Like, I want to enter into the body of Swami Vivekananda, so I can express that divinity and that wonderful. He is a wonderful soul. Apart from he inspired many, and he's like, if I want only 100 members, 100 youngsters, rather than having 130 crores of population. I just want 100 youngsters to change all the whatever that corruption and everything what is there in our country, to change that and to compete with other developed nations. So I want to enter into his body. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So he wants to impress. So best thing Nobita can do is to be himself, not to try to be someone else. To be himself is something by which you can impress. Lot of us try to put our best foot forward, but when we are into some relationship or something, and when we go to some strides, we feel that we were not same, that the person with whom we are now is not same. But why? Because we always try to put the best foot forward. It's right, it's good that you are putting your best foot forward, but being yourself is the best way I feel to impress someone. Because if you are trying to impress with something which you are not, eventually you will land up into trouble. So,
and trying to not repeat those same mistakes again in your life is the most important thing. So for that, I would like to call upon our GE, the CA Siddhesh sir, once again to evaluate the entire meeting.
He was dealing with mistakes. Now it is time to undo his own mistakes. I would like to call upon current affairs master. Yes, Sangeeta. Yes, Sangeeta on the stage, please.
As said by Arthur C. Clarke, the only way to define your limits is by going beyond them. Happy morning to one and all present here. Now let's transcend from here into current affairs to know what's going on around the world. Pakistan on Saturday said it was not satisfied with India's simplistic explanation on the accidental firing of a missile that landed in Pakistan's Punjab province and demanded a joint probe to accurately establish the facts surrounding the incident. Secondly, US President Joe Biden announced on Friday that the US will dramatically downgrade its trade status with Russia as punishment for its invasion of Ukraine and also ban imports of Russian seafood, alcohol and diamonds. The broad trade shift, which revokes the most favored nation status for Russia, is being taken in coordination with the European Union and group of 7 countries. Let's come to India. The RBI directs Paytm Payments Bank to stop onboarding new customers. HDFC Bank, which issues more than 2 lakh credit cards a month, was directed by the RBI in December 2020 to stop issuing fresh cards until it had sorted out its tech problems. The RBI has now lifted the restrictions on HDFC Bank's business generating activities planned under the bank's Digital 2.0 program, via its letter dated March 11, 2022. Union Steel Minister Ramchandra Prasad Singh on Saturday said production of steel in India will increase in the years to come as it expands scale of reprocessing scrap materials. India-UAE Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement (CEPA) will be easier for India to import scrap from the Gulf Kingdom, which will be recycled for precious industrial metals. Anil Agarwal promoted Vedanta, Welspun Corp, OP Jindal-led Jindal Stainless Steel Limited and ARES SSG Capital-backed Asset Care and Reconstruction Enterprises Limited are among 29 applicants to have shown interest in acquiring distressed steel company Mittal Corp, which is undergoing insolvency proceedings, said 2 people aware of about the development. Again, coming back to steel, because I think a lot of steel happening. India's got a lot of resources. So India's Jindal Steel and Power Limited expects demand created by cuts to supply from Russia and Ukraine to boost its exports to up to 40% of sales from 25% currently, as it looks to take advantage of record high steel prices. Indian businesses with an annual aggregate turnover of more than 20 crores up to 50 crores, as calculated in any preceding financial year from 2017-18 up to 2021-22, must begin generating e-invoices from 1st April 2022. Another development for the people who are in audits: consequent to the amendment to the audit rules, the auditors are now additionally required to report in their auditor's report on certain additional matters under section 143(3)(j of the Act under the section report on other legal and regulatory requirements. Here, whether the management has represented that other than those disclosed in the notes to accounts, that no funds have been advanced or loaned or invested by the company, and no funds have been received by the company. Based on the audit procedures performed, the auditor is required to report nothing has come to their notice that has caused them to believe that the above representations given by the management contain any material misstatement. And the second one is that compliance of section 123 of the Act with respect to dividends declared and paid during the year. Thank you, and over to the general event.
Thank you, Madam Sangeeta, for the current affairs scan. To test the listening skills of learned students among the audience, what was the first news?
About Russia.
It reminds me of a joke. Our nation went for elections, 5 states rather, went for elections in the recent past. A couple of days back we had results wherein BJP got 4 out of 5. So there's something called as celebratory firing. So boys will burn crackers. Men will shoot in the air, gun. And then legends, fill in the blanks. Legends fire missiles. Apparently. Anyway, very nice meeting at sharp 8 AM in the morning. We had a wonderful person on the stage. It reminds me of a quote which says, "A calm sea does not make a skilled sailor." Am I right? So she had a very difficult situation. Everybody were lost. I was speaking to others, she was speaking to him, people were standing, people were still entering. She had a very challenging task of grabbing the attention of the audience. And she was able to do it in a very effortless manner. Not just the voice tonality, not just the professional attire. In addition to all these three things, she also had 3 strategies in place. She said everybody seated should come in the front. One way of involving the audience. Then she said, how many of you are up here on Sunday? Applauding them. Then she had one more move wherein she somehow involved audience. 3 successful attempts. And all throughout her address, people were following her. The attention of the audience was always on the palm of your hands, madam. Very nice. And no doubt, I'm not surprised. When I think the secretary was reading out the previous minutes, he said she happens to be the best speaker from yesterday's meeting, last week's meeting. And I'm not surprised, given her successful attempt on the stage. Very nice. Sergeant at Arms requires her to deal with certain protocols. All that was gracefully done, as if it was not done. The mastery lies in doing something which looks effortless to somebody else. The way Virat Kohli swings his bat looks very effortless to me. Am I right in saying this? The way Lata Mangeshkar sings, very effortless. Can you attempt singing one line? So it was very effortlessly done, gracefully done. Something to be appreciated. Good job, Sahana.